Have you ever felt completely lost? Like the world was moving on without you, and you were just stuck, staring at a closed door? I've been there. My story isn't about some magical overnight success. It's about hitting rock bottom and finding a way to climb back up, one step at a time. This is how I went from being unemployed and filled with despair to building a life I am proud of. Just a few years ago, my world came crashing down. I lost my job, the one I had poured my heart and soul into for nearly a decade. The company downsized, and suddenly, I was just a number, a statistic. I remember sitting in my car after that final meeting, holding a cardboard box with a sad-looking plant and a few personal items. The silence was deafening. It felt like a punch to the gut. I had a mortgage, a family to support, and a future that had just vanished into thin air. The days that followed were a blur of rejection. I spent hours tailoring my resume, writing cover letters, and sending out countless applications. At first, I was hopeful. Something will come up, I told myself. But the rejections started rolling in, one after another. Sometimes it was a polite, automated email. Other times it was just silence. The hope started to fade, replaced by a gnawing anxiety. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, my heart pounding, the weight of my failure pressing down on me. I started avoiding friends and family because I couldn't bear the question. So, any good news on the job front? I felt like a fraud, a disappointment. The man who was supposed to have it all together was falling apart. My lowest point came about 6 months in. I was sitting on the couch, staring blankly at the TV, when my daughter came and handed me a drawing. It was a picture of me, but I had a superhero cape on. She said, "Daddy, you're my hero." That broke me. I was supposed to be her hero, but I felt like anything but. I was drowning in self-pity and despair, and I knew if I didn't do something, I would lose everything, not just my career, but my family's faith in me. That drawing was my wake-up call. It was the spark I desperately needed. That night, I couldn't sleep. But this time, it wasn't from anxiety. It was from a new, unfamiliar feeling, a flicker of an idea. I grabbed a notebook and started writing. I wasn't writing another cover letter. I was writing down everything I was passionate about, everything I was good at, all the skills I had learned over the years. I thought about the problems I had faced in my previous industry, the inefficiencies I always complained about, the things I always said could be done better. What if I stopped waiting for someone to give me a chance and created my own? The idea was terrifying. Me, an entrepreneur. I had no business background, no savings to speak of, just a whole lot of debt. But the fear of staying where I was, of letting my family down, was even greater. So I started small, really small. I spent my days at the local library, not looking for jobs, but devouring books on business, marketing, and finance. I watched countless hours of tutorials online, learning about everything from building a website to digital advertising. My office was a corner of our crowded dining table. My first venture was a consulting service based on my industry expertise. I decided to offer a solution to one of the biggest pain points I knew companies faced. I reached out to my old network, not asking for a job, but offering my help as a consultant. The first few calls were brutal, more rejection, but this time, it felt different. It wasn't personal, it was business. And I was learning with every no. I refined my pitch, I adjusted my offer, I kept pushing. Then, one day, I got a yes. It was a small project, barely enough to cover a month's bills, but it felt like I had won the lottery. That one small win gave me the confidence I needed. I poured everything I had into that project, over-delivering on every promise. The client was thrilled. They gave me a glowing testimonial, and more importantly, they referred me to another company. And just like that, the snowball started rolling. It wasn't easy. There were many sleepless nights, moments of intense doubt where I wanted to quit and just find any stable job. Building a business from scratch is a roller coaster. There were financial scares, client problems, and moments where I felt completely overwhelmed. I made so many mistakes. I underpriced my services. I took on the wrong clients. I tried to do everything myself instead of asking for help. But for every mistake, there was a lesson. I learned the power of resilience. I learned that failure isn't the end. It's a data point. It's an opportunity to learn, pivot, and improve. I learned to celebrate the small victories, to be grateful for every single client, and to never ever take anything for granted. Most importantly, I rediscovered my own worth. I wasn't just an ex-employee. I was a problem solver, a creator, a founder. Slowly but surely, my little consulting gig grew. I hired my first employee, then another. We moved from my dining table to a small, rented office space. The business that was born out of desperation was becoming a real, thriving company. Today, we have a team of 10 incredible people, and we serve clients all over the country. I get to wake up every morning excited about the work I do, building something meaningful alongside a team I respect. Looking back, losing my job was the best thing that ever happened to me. It forced me off the path I was on, and pushed me to create my own. It taught me that our lowest moments can be the foundation for our greatest achievements. The despair I felt was a catalyst for a change I never would have made otherwise. If you're in that dark place right now, feeling lost and hopeless, please hear this. It's okay to feel that way. It's okay to be scared. But don't let that feeling define you. Your circumstances right now do not determine your future. You have skills, passions, and a unique perspective that the world needs. That spark is inside you, waiting for you to find it. Start small. Write down what you're good at. Identify a problem you can solve, no matter how tiny. Take one small step, then another. The path won't be straight, and it won't be easy. You will face setbacks, but you will also find a strength you never knew you had. You are far more capable and resilient than you think. Your rock bottom can become the solid foundation on which you build a new life. Don't be afraid to start over. It might just be the beginning of your greatest adventure. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If it resonated with you in any way, I'd love it if you'd hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Let me know in the comments what challenges you're facing or what you're building. We're all in this together. See you in the next one.